Hi guys! Today is a little bit of a different video. It's just something that I've always wanted to show you, but never really got around to doing it. Today I'm just going to be showing you how I personally pack my electric keyboards, and hopefully it will convince some of you to finally start including shipping on your Reverb listings. So I'm going to be packing in my 1966 Fender Rhodes piano bass. The Rhodes obviously already has a case around it, so it makes it a little bit easier, but still, it pretty much applies to most electric pianos of that sort. This one will be going to California, and this time around I actually bought a specialty sized box instead of using the one that it came in, which is about 2 times the size. This saved me a lot on shipping, and also a lot easier to pack considering you don't need as much materials. So what you want to do is you want to take off the harp or whatever is keeping your action away from your tone generators, and you want to stuff this with some sort of material. You're just kind of making sure that the movable parts are a little less movable and free moving while in transit. Making sure everything is nice and packed will make it just a little bit less likely for something to fling over and smack into something and potentially break. And it helps a little bit more with the shock of bumping around on a UPS truck. As for the harp on Rhodes, I like to shove a paper or 2 roll of bubble wrap in between the tone bars and the tines, just so the tines don't move as much or have the potential to, especially the bass ones, and especially on a Rhodes with these older Raymac tines, which are much more fragile. Now what I have just started to do is use pre-sized boxes that are roughly the right size for the instrument. This helps so much when it comes to UPS savings, because a box that I would normally ship a piano bass in, which might be 10 or 15 inches larger than the piano bass, would end up costing me $100 to even $150 more at UPS to ship it, rather than buying 10 boxes that are closer to the size but are $50. Here you can see with the harp back on, we have the bubble wrap at the bottom that stops the hammers from moving at all, and also pushes the dampers just a little bit higher so that nothing were to move very much on the bottom end of the tine. Nice and snug. Keys are not moving as much, which is good. Now that we have the bubble wrap securing the bass tines, we can add the bubble wrap on top and then put the lid back on. Now I just used a thin piece of bubble wrap because this lid is already pretty tight, so this is gonna hold it just fine. Now we're gonna add more wrapping paper to the inside and then put the lid back on to seal it up. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more and then close her up. And you know you'll do it right, you did it right, when it's pretty tight when you close the case. That means that everything is nice and snug in there and ready to go. Once you have your box built, you want to grab some stuffing and put some on the bottom, but not too much so that there's still enough to go on the top, and just slowly stuff the sides. Now that it is in your perfectly fit little box, you can pack the sides and then finally pack the top. And just like with the case, you want to make it nice and snug, and then tape up the sides. Now that the box is all sealed up, I do like to reinforce the edges just in case. But it's all good now to go to UPS and get shipped off.